what do I need to know about you? Like, are you gonna kill me or?
Hi, this is Peyton with Girls Gone Right. We have Tim Brazil with us.
What's up?
He is a dating expert in Nashville, but your courses are available to anyone, correct?
Online. I have clients in Europe and other states and stuff like that.
Nice. And how long have you been in this space?
I've been doing this for over 3 years. I've been like in the dating advice niche, like as like a consumer for like a long time, since I turned 18, because that was like the first thing that I wanted to like get good at, because it really bothered me that I wasn't good at talking to girls, or like I was super shy. And so yeah, I've been in it for a while, but yeah, about 3 years I have my business.
Okay, awesome. So what made you want to do it?
Well, okay, I think the biggest thing was just like I worked in this agency and I learned a lot, but we were working with clients that I just like wasn't, it felt like it was more focused on like getting as much money and like upselling people into different programs as possible, and not like actually getting the results. So I actually worked as like a head coach / like sales guy in like a men's self-improvement coaching program for like a pretty big YouTuber. And what I realized was like, I was like this like 23-year-old kid, and I was able to give like pretty good dating advice to these guys. And they would always come to me for like the basic stuff like that. And so I was like, well, if I can just do this on my own, then I have control over, you know, making sure they get results. I have less clients, so I can just focus on them and like make sure that I'm trying to get them results. So I think that was probably the biggest thing, was just I could get guys results, and I had that confidence boost to like, you know, I could actually do it. And I was living with my parents at the time, so I always wanted to start my own business, and I like only needed like $500 a month to like survive. So
yeah,
you know,
that's awesome. So you're a dating coach. Are you single?
So yeah, I have a girlfriend. Okay. It's kind of a weird situation. So I have a girlfriend, but since I'm a dating coach, I still go out a lot. I talk to a lot of girls. I'll go on dates sometimes, but
so wait, so is it an open relationship?
It's like it's kind of open. There are certain boundaries I won't cross. Okay. And yeah, so like going on dates is fine. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to get into it. Basically, there are boundaries like I won't cross that like she's not okay with, especially like especially any sort of like emotional, like I would never start dating another girl like long term or something, because I feel like that like crosses a line that's like the special part of the relationship, you know? Yeah.
Okay, got it. We'll get into more of that after we go on a date. So we are about to do a skit date scenario of what it would be like to go on a first date, dating etiquette, things like that, and like I guess just behavioral topics, conversation wise, what should be discussed on a first date. And afterwards, we will have a little monologue discussion about first date etiquette and some other questions that some of you guys have asked on the question box on Instagram. So let's get into it.
As a guy showing up on the first date, the number one thing that guys get wrong is that you're trying to basically immediately like impress the girl or try to not step on any toes. What you actually want to do is treat her like she's already your girlfriend. You want to treat her like basically you already are dating and you have some level of familiarity. So if you've ever seen like an awkward first date, it always starts with like an awkward handshake or whatever. Just give her like a hug, like respectfully, right? But like a side hug, and try to sit next to her at whatever venue you're going to. Like sitting across the table and it feels like an interview is not a good way to start out a date. So I think the biggest thing that you can do as a guy to get the date opened up right away, because everyone has like that initial awkwardness on a first date. The first thing you want to do is like break that immediately, like as quickly as possible. So, you know, opening with some sort of familiarity and sitting next to her and doing things like that to like let both of you feel comfortable, feel like, yo, this is a normal environment. We're just friends or we're already dating. Having that kind of assumed attraction is really important, because typically the girl's going to feel a lot about how you feel. So if you feel like, oh my God, I don't know if this is going to go well. Oh my God, what if she doesn't like me? Whatever. She's going to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't like him. Oh, I don't know about this guy. But if you're like, oh yeah, we're probably going to get along. We already talked before. We've talked on the dating app or we've talked in person. We already vibe. So I'm just going to relax and just have fun. If you can do that going in, that's like the most important thing in terms of mindset before you even start the date. What do I need to know about you? Like, are you gonna kill me or?
I would say I'm not really a threat, but I could be. What's that? It looks like a cinnamon roll, could actually kill you.
Okay, cool. That's good. I do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of crazy is fun.
Yeah.
So.
It's like the fun kind of chaos.
Yeah.
But not too crazy.
Yeah. I can't deal with like prim, proper, boring shit.
Are you gonna kill me?
No.
Okay.
No, I have yet to kill anyone. I mean, that could change, but I don't see it changing.
Yeah. This is my first date on a dating app, but I've never killed anyone on a dating app, though.
Yeah. No, not a dating app. If I was going to kill anybody, it would be, I don't know. I would have to plan it out for a very long time, you know? Like one of those like psycho fucking premeditated shit, you know?
Yeah. You'd have to think about it. That's understandable.
Yeah. Plan. Which like, I'm actually like not a planner at all.
Okay. So then I don't have to worry about anyone dying.
No.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. I'll honestly, I'll probably want to kill someone and then just procrastinate it and I just want to do it.
Yeah. I have no intentions of killing it. Don't worry. Like, I'm very ADD, so I wouldn't be able to put any thought into that.
Me too. Maybe this can work.
Yeah.
Maybe this can work. I don't know. I feel like we're talking a lot about death.
Yeah, within the first few minutes of a date. Yeah.
Is it good or bad?
I guess we'll find out if none of us end up in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If so, then it's premeditated.
You're fun. I like you.
Yeah. I like to think I'm fun.
That's good.
Yeah. So what do you like? Are you fun? What do you like to do? What makes you fun?
I'm so boring.
So boring? Nothing stands out about you.
Yeah, I drink sparkling water. And
but it's sober October.
Well, it is.
Is this why you're not drinking?
No. No, I'm not drinking because like I just stopped like maybe 2 months ago and then I feel so much better. I'm like in better shape now and like it like messes my sleep. And so whenever I'm tired I like make terrible decisions and I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
So you haven't been drinking for 2 months.
I've not been drinking for actually no, I had 2 drinks like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
But that was like that honestly made me double down on it because I was like, I do not feel better after this. I was at like a bar and I like schedule that time to like go out and meet people and like make friends in Nashville, and I was like, fuck man, I'm like not feeling good. I'm like super not in a good social state right now. So I was like, okay, I'll have a couple drinks, and it did not help at all. And I just had to force myself to talk to people anyway, and I like felt terrible the whole night until I like got out of my head. So that was like, that like made me double down on it. I'm just not trying to do it.
I love that. I also am not drinking. It also made me really tired, hungover the next day, anxiety.
Yeah.
Was so much less productive because I'm drinking. Even if it's like once a week, I have 2 drinks, and it's like that's enough for me. So it kind of just like was a domino effect on every like day coming up. Like Sunday, not going to be productive because I drank the night before. Missed all of the things that I could be doing on a Sunday, like getting up early, being productive, going to the gym, all the things that I felt like I was just missing out more than I was getting from it. Like I don't want to do something if I'm getting minimal back. I'm spending hours out doing it on a Saturday night. That's like valuable time.
Yeah.
So I love that.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm a mega lightweight too. I'm such a pussy with alcohol.
Drink of choice.
Old fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whiskey guy.
Whiskey guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, really, like before this, I had a cigar. Because like it helps me with like productivity and stuff.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, the nicotine's like crazy.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. Like I'm not super addicted or anything, but like once, twice a week, I'll have a cigar and I'll work, and like I get so much done. It's
oh my
insane.
gosh.
Yeah.
I've smoked a cigar, and I threw up after.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure that I'm like
maybe it's not for
me, but it looks really cool.
It does look really cool.
Yeah.
I look very cool when I smoke a cigar. Same thing with an old fashioned. That's why I wish I could drink. I wish I could do it. Like I have friends that like they can just pound alcohol and they're fine. Like they're like better.
Yeah.
Somehow. I'm like, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, if alcohol affected me less, I would be drinking more. I guess like I would probably just be drinking more often than I am now. But now that I have stopped drinking, I've realized even like 2 drinks. If I have 2 drinks, it's like a slippery slope.
Yeah.
So I just realized how it affects me, and like other people can just drink so much more and they're fine, and they wake up and they're fine, or like they don't get as drunk. So it's really interesting. But cigars are like the cool way. Like you can still go out and be social and do things with it.
Cool.
Yeah, it feels really cool. It's very classy, and I love the old fashioned.
Yeah. You have like such a cute little like giggle smile thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that like when you get nervous or?
Yeah, probably. Okay, it's also it's when I'm nervous, mostly. Yeah, but I also just like tend to smile all the time. So do you hate dating apps because you're a dating coach?
Well,
or does that help you?
Dating apps can be really good. I don't use them, but like they can be good, and I've started relationships from dating apps before, and they've been really good. But I do tend to notice that like you don't meet as many unique people from dating apps. Yeah. Like if you meet people on dating apps, it's going to be like a lot of the same type of person. Not even necessarily like everyone's looking for hookups and it's like awful or whatever. But like I feel like a lot of people have the same personality. A lot of the girls I've met from dating apps are like a lot of the...
That's interesting.
Kind of the same. Maybe it's just because they're online more.
I bet no one has my personality.
Really?
I'd like to bet that.
Okay, maybe not. I don't know. I haven't been able to tell yet. You're just like a little crazy.
Yeah.
So far.
No, my profile says I'm crazy. I let people know it's quirky and crazy.
Good.
Yeah. Cool. So it's like a good mix of those, and I can bet that a lot of girls probably are not as quirky as me.
Oh.
There's a lot of crazy.
So
girls
you are not like other girls, is what you're saying.
That's what every girl says, but I'd like to think that I'm.
But it's actually true this time. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually true this time. Like a girl will be like, I'm not like other girls, and then like goes to Starbucks, which I go to, but like it's cuter when I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different when I do the basic things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not like I'm not like other girls at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe you.
So what are you looking for when you're going out with these girls? Like when you're dating.
Honestly, just like meet new people.
Okay.
Have fun. Not in like a super like hook up all the time way, but just I don't know. Anytime I've ever tried to date, like very like this is what I'm looking for, it's just too serious. It feels like a job interview or whatever. I'd rather just like meet people and be like, oh cool, like this is the type of person that I would like to go on another date with, or this is the type of person that I would like to, spend more time with, or maybe I would only want to see this person once a week, or maybe I wouldn't want to see this person again at all. Yeah. Whatever. It just kind of depends, like on the person. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think when you go into a date, and I used to date differently. I used to be very forward about what I wanted.
I feel like you'd show up with like a fucking manila folder of like, these are the things. Like, you lay out like papers.
There's like a list of requirements to like continue dating and like what I want in a relationship and like the bare minimum standards. And then I realized I don't like, there's some things that I don't really need that like I'll give or take on, and like people change as like you grow together. So like some of those things are not 100% necessary.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like forcing that onto something like that you like someone that you just meet, like it's
way too serious. It's way too rigid. Like you just, I don't know. Like, cause there are a lot of things where like especially I'll watch like I'll see clips of like certain dating advice people or whatever. And for whatever reason, it's usually women. I don't know why. It's because all the guy dating advice is like how to bang as many chicks as possible. That's why. But whenever it's like women talking about like intentional dating or whatever, it's always like you need to have like a list of 40 requirements and he has to check all the boxes or else you don't want to see him again. And it's like that guy, like, first of all, even if you find the guy that checks all his boxes, there's probably like a few things emotionally that like he's not giving you, especially when it's like specifically based around like career and stuff like that. Like a lot of girls will be like, okay, he has to make this much money or he has to do X, Y, and Z or like have these hobbies. Like those are like the worst indicators of like whether you're compatible with someone, I feel like. Yeah. Like if he makes you feel good with how ambitious he is, that's like basically it. That's like all you need in terms of career. Like I don't think you really need anything else. If you're just like a generally ambitious person and you have similar values and like whatever, you don't need anything like, he's got to make 6 figures. You got to be like this tall or whatever. Like, because then you see the girls that are the guys that like these girls actually date, and it's like nothing like what they say they
like,
want.
oh, he checks all the boxes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, he checks all the boxes when you like cross out some of the boxes.
Yeah, I am very conservative and I'm very religious, but I do think that there's a healthy medium way to approach dating where it's not so far one way where you're scaring off people that you could be going on dates with, or you just don't go, or like they're not as political, or they don't believe as strongly in something as you do. I do feel like that's something that shouldn't be so off the table, because I used to date like that, and I used to be really stern in like choosing the people I would go on dates with. And I think it just doesn't, it kind of like, it just you're like going around in circles, because you're not going to find everything that you want in someone. But I think that when you meet the right person, you'll know. Yeah. And a lot of those things, like, people grow together all the time. Like, people, and like, you meet someone and you change the way you believe because like you met someone and they've changed you in a lot of ways. So I do believe in that. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I honestly, I kind of thought I was going to come to this and you were gonna kind of be like that, like super like conservative and rigid. Very rigid, yeah. Very rigid. I thought you were gonna be super serious and you're all bubbly and shit. Yeah. Yeah. I guess like I'm closet bubbling. I put on like, I think like professionally I'm very rigid. Yeah. And like when I'm working, it's like I take that very seriously. And that's probably where that comes off. Yeah. But like when I'm not working, I think I'm definitely bubbling really goofy. There's definitely two sides to the coin. Okay. Yeah. Goofy's important. Yeah, I think it's really important to be able to laugh. Like that's my number one quality. If I had a box to check, I think if there's any box, like you should keep some boxes. But I think like having a good sense of humor is one of them. Yeah. Because like that can outweigh a lot of things. If someone doesn't have a good sense of humor, like imagine the rest of your life with them. Yeah. Horrible. I suck. Horrible. Guy with no sense of humor is not good. No. Okay. So what is your sense of humor? Is it like dad jokes, dark? Really funny. Really funny. Yeah, I'm just funny. Okay. Yeah. I have like a very broad sense of humor. I feel like I can have like really dark humor, but then I can like lighten it up. I can lighten it up with a good dad joke here and there. Yeah. Okay. I feel like generally I just look for like, honestly, that was like a big part of my like self-improvement stuff, was like figuring out how to make stuff fun. So I feel like I'm pretty good when I'm in the right headspace for it. I'm like pretty good at like turning stuff into like a fun thing. Yeah. Okay, so we just got done with our dating skit, and now we're gonna go over some dating etiquette, because I feel like every man should know this, and it's very controversial, only because there are women out there that are fighting this and not letting men take control, and they just want to be some feminist, strong feminist, and I don't like that. But we're gonna get this straight because dating expert. Yeah. So who pays for the date? The guy. But I will say, I'm not gonna bend over backwards. Yeah. If a girl really is like, I want to split this. Yeah. Because like the whole point of actually like masculine type of thing to do is like to not really be that affected. So if you are actually so like fragile that her like really being like, no, I actually want to, maybe she like feels bad because like the date didn't go well, and she's like, no, I actually want to pay, so I don't feel bad about this or whatever. Yeah. If maybe she has a reason to like split it, and I'm not gonna like bend over backwards for it, but like I will say like just take your card out and pay. And 98% of the time, even if a girl's like, oh, I'll pay, whatever, it's always like performative for the most part. Like just take your card out. You should really be going out for like one drink anyway. Yeah. So it's going to be like $20-$30. Just put the card on the thing and that's it. And then it's not a big deal. Don't talk about it. Don't ask. Don't, just do it and it'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it's offensive when a woman tries to pay? No. No. I'm offended by basically nothing women do. Okay. I don't care. I'm like, okay. Like, I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh no, yeah, please, you pay or whatever. But I'll be like, I mean, no, I got it. And then if she's like, no, I really want to, I'm like, sure, we'll split it. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. But like, I think that's like, a lot of guys, they'll like watch like some red pill podcast or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, I have to be like super masculine and like take control or whatever. Being super masculine is not like being offended and butthurt by a girl that you just met
saying I want to pay for my drink. Like, that's like not a very masculine thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like pretty reactive and like emotional. So I would say like, don't get offended by it. There's no reason to be offended by almost anything that people do. It's just like, they just want to, so whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And my advice is to the ladies, don't pay. Don't bring out your card. I just feel like kind of like a man should want to do that. And especially if it's a first date, it's kind of just the roles. So submit to the roles and don't try to fight it.
Yeah. I mean, like I would generally give the advice of like, girls like don't try to pay. But like, if you're a guy, there's going to be some girls that try. Yeah. And if they like really try, like you offer or you like put your card down, they're like, no, wait, don't. And then you're like, no, seriously, I got it. Yeah. And then she still fights you on it. It is so not worth a fight.
And it's awkward.
Yeah, it's super like, the last thing you want is something that's like super
weird,
confrontational and weird. Yeah. Like, there's literally no point in getting in a fight with someone you just met. Yeah, I agree.
So where should the first date be?
In a podcast studio at an apartment. Yeah. No, it should be like, so there's like 3 main kind of things I look for. Kind of like a light, chill environment. So you're not sitting down to dinner for like 3 hours. Like it should not be like a fancy restaurant. It should not be somewhere stuffy where you like have to sit across from each other or dress super nice. You just be able to dress like pretty well, but like not over the top formal. And it should be something where you can pay as you go, like drinks, because then you can leave. You can literally leave after 1 drink and she feels like she can leave. I think the biggest thing that like keeps guys from like escalating things to the point where it's like a more intimate vibe on the date is the girl not feeling comfortable and not feeling like she can leave. If someone feels like they can leave, they're gonna be so much more comfortable opening up to you. They're gonna be so much more comfortable like relaxing with you or like going to another bar with you or whatever, if they feel like they can leave. And so because they can. And so if you just set up the environment where either person can leave super easily, that's like the number one thing for sure.
Yeah, I agree on that. It is nice when you're going somewhere and if you don't like someone, you have a drink, you talk, and it's not the vibe, you can leave and not pursue it. Versus like being at a really long dinner and you have to stay, like you just feel like you're obligated to have a conversation, and like that's great and everything, but like sometimes you know right off the bat if you don't like someone or like there's something that comes up and you're like, I don't see myself getting over this to pursue this person. Yeah. So drinks are anything quick, like something that can be a quick date.
Yeah, and I feel like guys, especially like really nice guys that don't have the confidence to be like, I can keep this girl here and she'll be interested in me, they'll choose dinner because whether it's probably not consciously, but like subconsciously, they're like, if I choose dinner, she has to talk to me for like an hour. And like the really nice guys, they have this like, that are boring, they have this delusion that if she just gets to know me, then she'll like me. So over a long enough period of time, she will like me. But like, probably not because you're boring. Yeah. Like she probably won't change her mind. Like a girl knows pretty quickly within the first like 10 seconds of the date, like you make eye contact, there's basically chemistry based on your vibe, like within the first 15, 20 seconds. Yeah. And you can know whether there's chemistry or not. And that's it.
Yeah, so, I agree. I think like right off the bat, like you know after meeting someone if there's a connection, and then the date is kind of just to see, are you guys at the same place in life? Are you looking for the same thing? Do you have the same values? What is your lifestyle like? But I think, right off the bat, you know if you like someone. So if you like someone and you're on a first date, how long should that date be? Like if it's going well?
I would say as long as, what I would do as the guy, because generally as the guy, you're going to want to like be the one like making the first move on stuff. So I would probably, I don't have this like autistically planned out, but I would say generally like get like an idea of like what her night looks like her schedule. And so, you know, like, okay, if she has to leave in an hour and a half, then like I should probably cut it off even if it's going well at like an hour or like 45 minutes or something. So that she's not like, well, I gotta go now. And you don't sit there looking like you're like basically like begging for scraps of like attention from her. That's what I would say is like, just cut it off a little before like the night has to end. But generally, like if you're super busy, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then worst case scenario, like if you really like each other, like you're going to see each other again. So
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be super long.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. And do you ask for a second date on the first date?
I wouldn't ask, but I would like plant the seed of an idea. Like, yeah, maybe if you're nice, then we can do something later or whatever.
Okay.
Like that's probably what I would do. Like what I always tell guys to do, and this is mostly because I work with a lot of guys that are like way too nice and overly like people pleasing.
Yeah.
So usually what I tell guys to do is like to always, when you want to move things forward, like always try to make it playful in some way where it shows that like you're not gonna die if you guys don't see each other again.
Yeah.
So like, hey, if you promise to be nice next time, then we'll do that. And even if it like comes off a little awkward or cheesy or cringy, then it's still fine because you're like showing like I'm at least trying to like not be like overly people pleasing. So yeah, did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so. So like just like plant the seed.
Yeah, plant the seed.
Don't necessarily ask for a second date on the first date, but plant the seed. And I feel like a lot of guys will do that. Like at least if you're talking about hobbies and things in common, they're like, oh, you like to golf, we should do Top Golf soon. Yeah. Or like it's like planting the seed and setting it up.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, hey, so when can I see you?
Yeah, it's like so next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Are you free? Yeah, that's like a lot of pressure to be like, yes, and then sometimes they don't actually mean it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they might just be saying yes because they're like, well, I'm with you in person. And like, honestly, guys get super mad sometimes. Yeah. So like, girls never know like how guys are going to react. So a lot of time, like that's another thing. Like if you get a girl's number or whatever and she doesn't text you back, she probably just wanted you to go away. Like that's why, because she wasn't interested. But she didn't want you to be mad or whatever. Especially if it's a bar and like people are drinking. She doesn't know if you're like some drunk guy that's gonna like yell at her or something. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So how long do you wait to text a girl after the first date?
So usually what I do is I will tell the girl like at the end of the date, like, hey, text me when you get home. And then whether she does or not, because sometimes girls will forget or sometimes they're not interested, whatever, then I'll kind of wait till the next day, either way, and I'll text her, like, what's your schedule like next week? Wait, actually, scratch that. I'll say that, like, I had fun, if I actually had fun, obviously. I'll be like, hey, I had fun, but I'll just kind of leave it there, and then maybe I'll banter a little bit for a couple texts, and then I'll kind of drop it for a day or two, and then later I'll get her schedule. One of the biggest things and I think you'll appreciate this because you like it when it's like planned out, to avoid the awkwardness of like the guy suggesting an idea because he's trying to be like assertive and then you're actually busy that day, get the schedule first, because if you get her schedule first, then she's already told you when she's free, so you can plan for when she's free rather than just blindly trying to be like this assertive alpha male and be like, Wednesday, drinks, be there. It's like, I'm busy Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, but if you know she's free Thursday, then you'd be like, cool, let's meet at this place for drinks on Thursday. Yeah. And then you know she's free. So then she says no, then it's like, okay, she's not interested. But if she wants to go on a date with you, it's like you did it in a cool, assertive way, and you like set yourself up well. And it's like, it avoids all the awkwardness of like, oh, well, when are you free? Okay, let me know. And then no one ever lets you know.
Yeah. So is there a rule, like the texting rule? I feel like everyone talks about this. After you're on a date, they're like, oh, I can't text first, or I have to wait so long to text a girl if I really like them.
People like so overthink it. Like, if you really like a girl, what I would do, so you don't overthink it, is like do like 10 push-ups before you send the text. Like, because you just get out of your head. Like, stop overthinking. Like, I used to have like this is so like ridiculous that I used to do this, but like I used to have like a list of productive things I could do. And if I liked a girl or I was overthinking, like texting or something, I would like have to check something off the list, like, and be productive. So I'm in more like correct state of mind. Like I'm in a more like empowered state of mind rather than like, oh man, when am I going to see this girl again? So I would suggest like doing that. I think that's a really good idea. But like, I don't know. I've never been like a big fan of like, you need to wait this long or whatever. Like if you guys like each other, the fact that the girl's not gonna be like, I don't know, he texted me back for 30 minutes instead of 2 hours. Like, I don't know if I want to see him. Like that's not really what it is. It's like, it has a lot to do with like the type of energy she gets from you, the type of vibe that you give off. If she feels comfortable, if she feels like she wants to see you again and she's excited to see you again, if she's excited to see you, like, you can basically do anything and she'll want to see you again. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I agree. I think the whole like texting rule is so crazy. And I feel like if you actually like someone, you'll go on a date, and if they text me that same night, I'm relieved.
Yeah.
I'm more excited. Yeah. I'm like, okay, he actually had a really good time because he's texting me the same night. He had a great time. He let me know. And I don't know, I think all of those, I guess like you would call that the like toxic dating advice that's out there on the internet.
Yeah.
Like the culture of it.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of nerds that tried to figure out how to fake being like a cool person rather than just like being a cool person. Like a cool person doesn't really think about like the guy that guys watching this want to be like that has girls that's interested in him. He's not thinking like, okay, I gotta wait 2 hours to text the girl. Like, he's thinking like, oh yeah, I like this girl, we had fun and we have a good vibe, I'm gonna text her now and that's it. Or I can't text her now because I'm busy, and like he's actually busy, you know. I think there's so much like weird advice that's like how to fake being cool. And it's like, just you should really focus on like being cool and like being social and knowing how to talk to people. That's like the main thing. It's like
this toxic dating culture that's out there that tells you that you shouldn't be available, that you have to not text back, ignore some text, don't text back right away, make it seem like you're out with other people, make the girl jealous, make the guy jealous. And those things are all so wrong, because I just feel like if you genuinely like someone and if you want to see them again and it's authentic and you're being yourself, you're going to have a much more solid relationship versus you already being toxic, already creating trust issues by not texting back, by posting that you're out with other people, like going out on other dates. Like, you've already created this toxic relationship before it even started.
And like also like guys that overthink if like a girl doesn't text them back, like there could be a million reasons. Maybe she really liked you and she's nervous to text back. Like that is possible. Like I've gone on dates with girls in the last couple months where like she doesn't text me back after, and then I text a couple days later and she's like super excited to hang out. And it's like, okay, well, clearly, like, it wasn't that she didn't want to see me again. It was probably that she was, like, nervous because it went well, or nervous because she's, like, a generally shy person, or something like that. She's, like, overthinking it. And, like, I think a lot of guys, probably people in general, don't realize that, like, everyone else is overthinking stuff, too. Like, everyone's overthinking just as much as you are, because everyone wants to, like, have a good dating life. Everyone wants to be, like, happy in a relationship, or whatever your dating goals are. Like, everyone wants that. So, like, people like it when people like them. So everyone's overthinking about how to get that. And so if you realize that, then it's a lot easier to like get in a more relaxed headspace about it. I feel like.
I agree. Well, this was good dating advice, and 97% of our viewers are male, so I'm sure that they're going to appreciate this.
Cool.
I'm sure they're going to appreciate this, and I think it was just fun to be able to do like a real life scenario, like a skit showing you guys what it's actually like to go on a first date, and icebreakers and other dating tips, and to kind of just counteract all of the negative toxic dating advice that's out there. And
I can't wait for all the Fresh and Fit fans in the comments, because I bet there's some overlap there. I can't wait for all those guys to like call me a virgin balding loser. Like I actually get those guys in my comments.
Really?
It's really funny.
Okay.
Like, you're lying. You don't know what you're talking about. I think it's so funny.
I don't know. Our subs be nice. They're usually nice. So we'll see.
I take it. But I love it. I feed off of the toxicity.
Okay. We'll see about that.
I'll be all right.
So I will link your profile below, guys. If you want any dating tips or you're looking for a dating coach, I will link him. And feel free to message him. And thank you guys for watching.
Thanks.